Hey Stitchers, it's Trisha, the left-handed stitcher. Tonight I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how I make my needle minders. These are the ones that I bought when I first started using needle minders, and these are some of the ones that I've made myself. And as you can see on the back, it's the same magnets. So what you will need, of course, is the magnets. These are the ones that I get. I order them off of Amazon. 1/2 inch diameter by 1/16 inch depth. Neodymium magnets, rare earth is what they like to call them. And as you can see, warning, 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 warning. Because these puppies are strong. So next, what you will need is an adhesive, something strong. I like to use E6000. I don't have a problem with what people say it has too real strong fumes. I don't notice, so. You need what you're going to put on the front. My preference is to use the buttons that have the shanks on the back. I just cut the shank off and then I grind it flat. Flush. So there's that one. Normally I don't like using the button that has the holes all the way through, but these are just so darn cute I couldn't resist. And then this one I found in the jewelry section at Hobby Lobby. It's meant to be a ribbon slide, but I can use it as a needle minder. I just have to make sure I put a good enough gloop of E6000 to get down in that well. And another thing I like to use is a scrap of mat board that I have to help me corral the magnets. And I also like to use another scrap to use to rest my E6000 on, because it tends to gloop when you're not using it. So what you'll need to do is to get your magnets out. This is how they come. It's 4 columns of magnets. So what you need to do is just work them apart so that you have them in a row, and then work one away from the other 3. And then make sure we're going to stick this guy right back down in there, and then the other 3 I'll stick right back in here, back in the box, so it can sit off to the side and not be a problem with my loose magnets trying to attach themselves to them. So now I take this column of magnets, I hold it like this, and I push with my thumb, and you'll get them till they just slide a little bit, but it's best if your fingers aren't all sweaty, because it's nice and humid here today, and it's a little bit of work. You get it away and you hold on to it really good until you can grab it with the other hand. You want to maintain positive control of this loose magnet at all times, because if it gets close, it'll slam back onto the other magnets and it will shatter, because they're very thin, so they're very fragile. So what I do is I will put this guy on this end, so he is nowhere near any other magnet. And then I grab another one off the stack and I place that one over here. Oops, see? It was attracted to the magnets that I still have in my hand, so it went just like that. So make sure that your hand is far enough away when you set that puppy down. So then what I do is this stack, put right back in here, and I set it off to the side. Alright, so now positive control of these, and this is where the mat board helps. I can stick one on one side and put the other one on the other side. Now they're a lot less likely to go flying anywhere. So since I'm doing 3 magnets, I will get 3 pairs of magnets out. And positive control of the 2 magnets. Put one on one side of the mat board and stick the other one to it. So now I can get it down here close to the other ones, but because they're holding here, they're not gonna come together that way. And one more pair of magnets. One there. Slide another one off the stack. I put the stack over way off to the side. Well, I still have this one sandwiched between these 2 fingers. I go in and I grab the other one. So positive control over the 2 loose magnets. You let them slam together and they will shatter. So there you go. There's the 3rd pair of magnets. So now what we will do, I will zoom in just slightly so you can see. I grab my E6000, take the cap off, I put a dollop, doesn't have to be much, for these flush buttons, flush, backed buttons, and then I center it the best I can on one of the magnets, and I do that by picking it up and I look between to see if it's really off center in any direction. And then it will just sit there until the E6000 cures. I let them sit overnight before I try to use them. And so then this little guy, well, there I am. I just put a little dollop right in the center. You don't need much because it's another flush backed button. And so then I just estimate where center is, put it down, press a little bit, and because I didn't put too much E6000 on this guy, it didn't come up through the holes, a lot, so I didn't get any on my finger when I pressed down, so that's a good thing. So now I just check around to make sure that it's level and it's centered pretty well. So that one's done. And now this one. Okay, so I am going to need to put a slightly larger dollop of E6000 in that well. And maybe I'll do just a little bit more right there. So I got that well full with just a little bit above. So then I put it down onto the magnet, check it to make sure that it's centered nicely and level. bumped that one, so I will adjust it again. Alright, so now I have 3 new Needleminders. I just have to let them cure overnight, and this one is going to go to my husband because he said he really likes that design, so that one's his, and of course this one's mine, and that one's mine. And then I will put the cap back on my E6000. This little tube has lasted through all of my Needleminders so far, so that's good. Zoom out. Alright, so now I'm gonna get this off and off to the side, bring these magnets back, and oopsie, broke because it is stuck to the other ones that are inside. Alright, so now I have it in my palm, so positive control. Since I'm left-handed, I switched over, and there we go. They stuck together, but the thing is, when they're in these stacks, they are a lot less likely to shatter when they come together. So when I bring them together, I do it real slowly, and I have to do it close to my body so I can really maintain control. So I let them. That one I need to move. Alright, so again, I got the 3, I got the short stack, I let it. This guy is not cooperating right now, but it's trial and error. I have to get him close to the side without it flipping around to make a tall stack. So now I have them lined up, and now they'll come together in a 4 stack to go back into their case, and I will tape that little piece on later, but then it slides back into its container, and we're done. So 3 new Needleminders, and you saw how quick and easy that is to do. For the shanks on the back, get a pair of flush cut snips, and sometimes you can cut them close enough, but if after you cut them and there's still a little bit of nub, it'll cause this to sit kind of cockeyed on the magnet. So I had my husband go out to his tools in the garage and grind it down. I could also get, if I didn't have my husband to do it for me, I would just get a little handheld Dremel tool so that I could grind it down myself. So easy peasy. I am going to find my my purchase on Amazon, and I will link it in the description so that you guys can find these a lot easier. And they also come in smaller diameters, so if you have some items, some buttons that have, you know, open areas, so you just need a smaller magnet on the back, they do come in smaller diameters. Alright, so that's it. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Happy stitching!